How's it going, everybody? It's me, Shane. I'm here to give you episode review. Not really much a recap of episodes 12 and 13 of Bleach, the 1,000-Year Blood War. They were released in an hour-long special. It's technically 50 minutes because both episodes are 25 minutes apiece. Episode 12 is Everything But the Rain, June Truth. And the blade is me. So before I go any further, please hit that like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Be notified of more videos just like this. As a matter of fact, when you hit that notification bell, click all, so you make sure you get these videos right on time, everybody. Leave me a comment down below. I'd love to hear what you all think. Hope everybody had a good Christmas holiday weekend. We got one more with New Year's, and boy, oh boy, what a New Year's gift here, right? I guess they really wanted to wrap up everything before 2023. And because of that, I'm going to do this how I do some of my favorite reviews, which is just literally talk about it. So I figured I'll just try to split it up. Hopefully I don't muddle some things because I hate to say it. I would say 13 is the more interesting episode. Because it's a good ending. It's a good ending because we're getting core. Man, those French words. We're getting the second part of this July of next year. But man, 12 wasn't that bad either. So we're continuing the story about how I met your mother. You know, Isshin Shiba. Found out he's part of Shiba family, which I was correct on that one. It's funny. I've read up to a certain part in here, and I'm still being surprised by stuff. I think it's because you kind of pick and choose what's important to you when it comes down to reading manga. I digress. So, in this first episode, we learned that Isshin went back, reported everything, but he left out having been saved and met a Quincy, which is quite interesting given that lion-ass Aizen, Gin, and dumbass Tosin were all in there. So, of course, they're not going to, be like, aha, he's lying because we were there and really the bad guys. But it's interesting that old man Yamato, while he's reading everything and going over it, he opens his eye. And goes, is there anything you haven't told me? I love it because he knew. Come on now. And Isshin wants to properly go back and thank her. So, in the world of the living, she's having moments where she's like spacing out. She actually spaced out, ran into Kisuke Uruhara, who sensed that space out moment within inside of her. And it turns out Katagiri, Katagiri, the Uryu's mom. I could have told you that was his mom a long time ago. Uryu's mom, especially because they both have the same resting bitch face. She told the lady of the house, Lady Ishida, Ryuken's mother, and because she got confronted. She confronted Masaki about, why'd you go out and help a Soul Reaper, fight a Hollow, where Quincy's disgraceful. And Masaki's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I love it. Just deny. I have no clue what you are referring to. And Ryu just ran. He's like, pushed her against that wall like, why would you tell on her? And she's like, look, you said everything was okay, but it wasn't okay. She actually got hurt by the Hollow, and everything, you marrying her and all this other stuff is for the good of the Quincy, the good of the family. I'll get into their thing in a second. So I'll get into it because I already told you that's Uryu's mom. Come on now. She faints. Like, she faints in front of the lady, and Ryu catches her and it's like, oh, she has a big old hole in her chest that looks like a hollow hole. Oh no. And he's like, where's daddy? He's not back. We're trying to send for him. He just runs out. He's going to try to find somebody to help. It's kind of one of those things of desperation where it's like, I don't know who can help. I just got to run. Maybe he's trying to run to get to his dad quicker. So does a little, the flash steps across the spirit wave particle things. I don't know why they just don't say these people can fly. I guess they had to be like, oh, you step on the particles in there. Whatever. His mom can't give chase because if you look, you see her leg. Her leg it looks like it's burnt. Looks like she is, I don't want to say lame, but has sustained some kind of injury to where she can't chase after him. Now while he's thinking, he's like, oh man, I shouldn't have let her do this. I shouldn't have let her save that guy. Massive hollows behind him, a Grand Minos. This thing's about to kill him. Nope. Isshin shows up. Yeah, cut it right in half. Yo, what's going on? This is your fault that she liked this man. Why, man? And especially when Isshin's like, I'm gonna try to help. Like, don't you touch her. Ryu, I see where Uryu gets his sometimes punkness from. And Kisuke Urahara, one of my top 3 favorite characters. That's my number 2 guy. Shows up. It's like, we don't really have time for bickering. I can actually save her. Just follow me. Isshin knows who he is once he says his full name, Kisuke Urahara. I was banished from Soul Society. I know what she's going through. She's going through holification. Of course, Ryu's like, I don't get who you are. Can you return her to what she once was? No, I cannot, actually. I can save her, but I cannot return her. He explains the holification is when you put a hollow soul inside of another soul, it breaks down the spirit boundaries, and what happens is they become merged. But unfortunately, it is too much, and there is a thing called soul suicide. Eventually, they will explode, as we saw with the giant white thing, right? They call it the white, but even though it's all black, ha ha ha, funny. With that thing exploding. Still haven't been able to figure out that problem. He has spent 100 years, hundreds of years figuring this thing out. And he figures out that if you can inject a soul in there that is the exact opposite to counteract that hollow, you can do it. And what's the guy called? Ryu can actually, when he says, there's only one way, you gotta, bind somebody to it. He's like, hey man, you're lying. You got another way. He said, yeah, you're very astute. There is another way, but you have no choice in it because Quincy's do not mix well with hollows. The opposite of a Quincy is a soul reaper. So here's the deal. We bind Isshin Shiba. We bind your soul to hers, and it'll counteract what's going on, and it'll stop that boundary from breaking down, thus saving her from dying. But she will always be a Quincy hollow hybrid. That will never change. And in order to do that, he made a special gi guy. Once you go inside of it, you become human. He has to give up his life of being a soul reaper and be fully human. He can't stray away from her. He has to stay near her, and that's how she will live. And he goes, all right, let's do it. And they're both surprised, like, so you're willing to just give up your life? He's like, hell no, but he says, are you content to give up your life, your life you're living? He's like, hell no, but if I let someone who saved me die, the future me will laugh at me. And Ryu thinks back to when Masaki said something very similar. And thus, the binding began. We actually see her, what it looks like inside of her soul. She's falling in a deep, dark pit. And the hollow mask, Ichigo's hollow mask, this is the one thing I do like how this all connects very nicely, because the white hollow looks exactly like Ichigo's almost full-blown hollowification form. The mask looks like his hollow mask, because it is. I'll get to it in a second. Once Isshin's soul is bound to it, he shows up, protects her, and it was explained that the hollowification thing will be passed down to generations. It will go to the next kid. So he has to stay around just to stop this thing. Isshin finally properly explains to Ichigo how his mother died. His mother died on that day 9 years ago, June 17th, because the Quincy King, Yoichi, he said, I heard the tale, and I told you guys this tale earlier on when we first started this journey. He will regain his pulse in 900 days, 900 years. 90 years he gets his mind, 9 years he gets his power. He takes other Quincy's powers that he deems impure or weak. And, Ichigo's like, how can he do that? Well, that's because Yoichi, every Quincy has his blood. He is literally the father of all Quincy's. Now, that can be confusing. And this is slight spoilery for towards the end, but I'll try to explain it like this. Don't know how he makes them, but he is the progenitor of all of the Quincy's. So all Quincy's come from him. He is a being that all these things come from. There you go. That's not really spoilery because I didn't go into too much detail, but that's how it works. And and Masaki, mind you, the reason why Isshin couldn't help her is once you go into Gigai, he doesn't have his powers anymore, and he cannot see hollows anymore. Masaki, we mentioned last week or early last weekend, she's an Ike Quincy. She's one of the old bloods, man. Her blute vein, the thing that protects them from the sword swipes and all that. Hers is so strong, she can take out Grand Minos by herself without getting a scratch. Unfortunately, her power was taken from her, and she died protecting her son. Funny enough, Kaine, which I think is the same name of this dude's girl in Demon Slayer, Kaine Katagiri. She was very frail. Her power was also taken by the Quincy King, which aided in her dying. So Ichigo and Uru have a connection there. Deep connection there, which is pretty interesting. And now Ichigo knows everything. He has super resolved and understands what's going on. Miss Izumi brings him back his badge, and he's like, I'm gonna go. And he does get back there because Mira shows up and takes him back there. That episode is very interesting. It's there's a part where Isshin explains, I have my powers back because the hollow inside of you got too strong that my spiritual pressure could not keep it down. And as soon as you got your, you know the rest, right? How you got your soul awakening from Rukia, the Soul Society battle. You met your hollow. You know all this stuff. This is why I'm able to do the things I can do again. And be, what would the ladies would call him a Dilf. Be Dilf Isshin, little scraggly hair right there. I can do the damn thing. I enjoyed that exposition episode because you get a really good look at how much you can a lot of times in manga anime, like the pairings sometimes seem forced, or it's like, oh, that's meant to be, and you're going like, well, yeah, we know they're going to get together. But I like the fact that because of Masaki's, I'm not going to let somebody die if I can help it, and then Isshin going, she saved my life. I wouldn't have my life if it wasn't for her, so I'm going to give it up. Apparently, he already had medical knowledge. I guess he might have learned more from Kisuke, but that's how he opened up the clinic. She came by and teased him about his white coat. They started dating. Then Ichigo was born. He remembers a thing from a movie which he equates to her when they went to the movies, that she's the sun. Everything is attracted to her. She forgives everything. She illuminates everything. She makes everything spin, and she made my world spin. That was very touching. You get in this episode that Isshin genuinely loved Masaki, and he would switch between saying Ichigo, like your mom, your mother, your mom, Masaki. Just tell that there's still some pain there from having lost her, and I would really like to see Isshin show up and just kind of kick your watch in the balls. That's just me. I have my villain rating. There's like Naraku level villains where they're so annoying for the stuff they pull. Your watch is one of them. Aizen definitely is on that. He's easily top 5 villains. We're not even going to talk about Griffith. Griffith apologizes. Y'all are gross and nuts. I digress. I would give episode 12 certainly it's one of the most important episodes. I gotta give it a 4.5 at the very least. Like, so much backstory and not really character growth, but I really feel like they did a really excellent job of showing that connection between Masaki and Isshin. I like it. I like that it showed, after she graduated, she had to leave the Ishida house because she's half hollow, half Quincy. He never fully straight out told her that he gave up his powers to save her. He said, oh, I got banished because of what happened. And the crazy part is, he's like, I'm not good at lying. And she's so smart, she knew I was lying. Anytime I would lie to her, she would instantly forgive me, but she would know I'm lying. And That's a really good pairing there. I don't necessarily, I said last week that I would love to see a flashback with him, like seeing how those Soul Reapers did stuff before this incident here. I don't know if I will be able to take a flashback because this was really touching, and I don't want anything to be ruined. I wish I could see more of her character's personality. It'd be nice to get some shorts here and there of, raising the Kurosaki family, or I'd like for him to explain why he took her last name as opposed to keeping his last name. Maybe he didn't use his last name just to keep them safe, right? That's just me guessing. So, yeah, 4.5 out of 5 for episode 12. Now, let's talk about episode 13. This one here. This episode here, The Blade is Me. Oh, when shonen animes have really good episodes that don't have fighting in them, this is it right here. Like, I do enjoy the little pink, when they do flashbacks and it's the pink, like with Kisuke showing, I encountered the holification thing before with the wizards and all that stuff with bitch ass Aizen. This was great. We even show in the beginning of this episode here how everybody else is preparing. Hetsuki's like, I've had my Bankai stolen. I want to go back to basics. So he goes to the guy that's training his squad 10 members. And he's going back to basics. He's like, I have to relearn, after the battle with Aizen was done, he refined his Bankai to be truly worthy of the name. Now he doesn't have it, so I got to go from scratch. I like that. Oimanda, lieutenant of Soifon, he seems really sad because Soifon went out to train without him. She's on top of a rock doing one arm push-ups from a handstand position, but he plays with his little sister, so spend time with her. That's what you need to do. Mayuri, captain of the science division, this dude is doing something with his lieutenant, his daughter lieutenant, locked himself up in his office. Akon showed up, even though he shouldn't. He's still hurt, and he's like, the surveillance cameras are off, and he's been there for 24 hours. That's suspicious. He planted a camera in his office so he can spy on him. He's like, shut up, person that's complaining. Let me look in here. What the hell is he building? Who knows? We'll find out soon. Konohamaru, Wolfman, Dogman. He goes to the Great Elder, which the animation for that guy, for the Great Elder, big wolf dog guy, which is literally a giant white wolf dog person. This dude looks like he was taken from a Studio Ghibli movie and just like, that's how good the animation on that guy was. Konohamaru wants to learn the clan's secret technique, which, great big dog guy. It's like, it doesn't matter who rules the world. We're going to be in the same position where he's like, no, he gets on Captain Dog, man, like, you covered your face, you were ashamed of us. He's like, yeah, but you see, I'm not wearing the hat now. The world has changed. We can show ourselves. We need to protect this world. And Dog Guy's like, look, man, I'm gonna crush you if you keep getting on my nerves. But Captain Dog Man's like, bring it on. So I guess you're gonna have to fight for it. Kind of sad what happens to him, but yeah. Anywho, who else is training? I think that's everybody. Well, Ichigo's trying to figure out how to get back. How does he get back? Mera, the person that works for or with Nimimaya, the father of all Zanpakutos, she shows up to get him because he shares a funny moment with his father. He's like, hey, Ichigo, how you gonna get back? Oh, crap. She shows up, pulls him back. All right, dude, you know the truth. Let's have it. He's in a pit with the Asawai sweet cheese sword things, and they all start to kneel before him. A bunch of them some of them turn black, and they're at the top looking like, what? And he's like, I only had to do all that fighting. You're the one. Reaches out his hand, takes it. The Aswich, it has his hollow mask on. And now he can get to reforging his blade, but he has to say goodbye to Zangetsu. And she's like, what? Huh? What you mean say goodbye to Zangetsu? And his bodyguard team appears. Nemimaya's bodyguard team appears. It's Mirror the Fire Chick. There's Nomo, the little pink hair girl. They're making the kiln. They're making the forge. It has to. The Hooden is made on this cliff because he cannot forge it without these waters. There's a sea around. That is important. You have the older black-haired one that gets with the tears and makes the forging waters. The blonde boxum one who holds down the blades with her hair. Wrapped mouth one that made his hammer out of her tooth. Who am I missing here? Blonde. Mira has the flames. So yeah, that's all of them. That's all of them. Anyways, he takes off his sunglasses to hammer. He's like, "What's on your mind?" He calls him Goichi. "What's on your mind, Goichi?" That's kind of bright flame. Shouldn't you wear your sunglasses? He's like, "Nah, fool. I can't see the flames if I have this on." And he's like, "Besides, I already told you can say you didn't wonder, why does the eye switch look like your hollow form? You never thought about why I said you're gonna say goodbye to Zangetsu?" And we see his mindscape. You all remember the old mindscape? Oh, how cool that was in the very beginnings of Bleach, where Ichigo's soulscape is a bunch of buildings turned sideways. He's like, think about it. The Zangetsu. That's not really Zangetsu, buddy. And in my mind, I'm sitting there like, yeah, bro. How I looked at your watch in minute 1. I'm like, that's Zangetsu. Like, anyway, think about it. When you showed up, don't he look like the person that destroyed Soul Society, that caused all this pain and damage? Look at him. Look at him. He's like, damn. And Ichigo, even in his own mind, he's going, man, I really did try to put it in the back of my mind. It's, why did I instantly go towards him as the villain? Why did I feel like he is the enemy I needed to defeat? Why does he look like Zangetsu? And he says, old man Zangetsu. And he's like, yeah, that's not really my name. I actually got to pull up my notes for this one because he said, yeah, no, that's not my name. That's not who I am. Go down here. Go down here some more. And so he's asking him, he's like, was everything you told me a lie? I did skip a part, but don't worry, I'll go back to it in a second. Is everything you told me a lie? It's like, no, everything I said was actually true. I just only lied to you about my name. And it's great because the symbolism here is the building, they're standing on it, it rips in half, and Ichigo's half goes into the water. It's like total apocalypse looking buildings underwater. And where am I at here? He is actually Yoichi from 1,000 years ago, which is why he looks younger, why he looks cooler with the glasses. And he said, Zangetsu basically says, yeah, I've been suppressing your power because, I've been suppressing your power. I didn't want anything to happen to you. And Ichigo's like, well, why you been doing? He's like, duh, fool. I don't want you to get hurt. And eventually I figured I would have to kill you. We're the opposite. You become a Soul Reaper. I'm a Quincy. I'm gonna have to fight you. He says you got to think about it. Every time you needed to understand the power of your sword, every time I needed to teach you about your sword, the hollow was there. The hollow saved you. You were about to die. The hollow is the reason why when you needed to develop your strength, it was there and your hollow powers came out. Not me. Your powers didn't fully mature, and that's why, I was at the center of your power. I wanted to keep you from danger, keep you from conflict. And I thought I would have to end you with my own hands. And he makes that blue sword appear, that blue flame sword appear. And he says, I couldn't let you become a spirit reaper, soul reaper, whatever you want to call it. But he says, but here's the thing, you took the opportunity into your own hands. You did it on your own. You suffered and felt pain, and yet you continued down that path of your own free will. And he watched him, and as he watched him, his heart started to waver, and he actually started to leaning into supporting him and what he wanted. And he is very, very happy that he can step away now. He feels satisfied. We actually see Zangetsu like break up into pieces, and the blue sword just remaining there, and he's happy. And he's become strong. He was glad he was able to see it at his side. Now, here's the crazy part. Ichigo's like, no. You used the shadow thing to come and save me, Remember that the shadow thing he used right when Kenpachi Zaraki was about to get him? He said, you even lent me the Quincy's power when I really needed, with the big spirit burst when he was by him. He's like, you actually helped me. I don't care what you two think. You're Zangetsu. And we get flashbacks of his hollow self. And he's like, you're also Zangetsu. You both are Zangetsu to me. Credits are playing. Now you feel like number one. Not the two, but the one. And in the waking world, Ichigo's hands are on the flames. And the blonde one, don't remember her name. Not even going to go back and remember it. I even wrote all that down, but this is not a play-by-play. He's pulling the blades out. And Nehemiah's like, nah, it's cool. He's like, I knew you would come to that same conclusion, right? They're both a part of you. And he tells both of Zangetsus. He has 2 blades, y'all. He got 2 blades. One is small, one is bigger. 2 blades. Said, I'm not going to lean on you for strength. I'm not going to have you stand beside me. I'm going to fight on my own. Both of y'all are my Zangetsus. You are Zangetsu to me. I am you. So the blade is me. That's a good title because the blade is him. Where am I at here? By the way, blonde, evil German guy, Quincy, brings Uryu to the king. There you go. That is the ending for this season, for this first part of Bleach 1000-Year Blood War. I did forget one thing here. The method for making the hollow that attacked Ichigo's dad and mom, it's the same method that Nehemiah uses to make the Asawaiches, the blades that are the blank cornerstones. It's the same method. You just, Aizen layered souls on top of one another. So it looks like Aizen has been copying Squad Zero's methods to do dastardly things. One thing I didn't say from episode 12 is that the person that was talking at the end of it was Zangetsu, saying, I believe the world is full of danger. I want to protect you from it, only because inside of me is the same impulse as that danger. I like it. I do. It's interesting that 1,000-year-old Yoichi could have been turned by being by the side of someone else. Like, that false Zangetsu is just a representation of the Quincy blood and the Quincy power within Ichigo. So, yeah. This was all about Ichigo accepting the multiple sides to himself. The soul, the Zanpakuto is a reflection of your soul. So he has a Quincy side. He has a human side. He's a human that has a Quincy side and has a hollow side. Both of those together are what needed to make himself whole, and he accept himself. And I loved it. Now, this episode right here gets 5 out of 5 for sure. For sure. That's a great way of ending something off. You give us a little bit of hope, and then you give us a little bit of doubt when we see the Uryu. Ooh, I wonder what that can mean. Ooh, very good. I missed something else, y'all. The Captain Mugu. Oh my goodness. Muguruma, the one that has the combat blade, Zanpakuto, who's also the Captain Squad 9. The dude who looks like Ichigo with the 3 lines. His name's Shuhei. Shuhei's going to be trained to master his Bankai because Captain gets his lieutenant, the Kamen Rider girl, Kuna, Mashiro Kuna, which is based on the guy who plays Segata Sanshiro, that guy who's the first Kamen Rider. And she does say henshin and get her. That's how she gets her holification mask on. He has to fight her. And this is funny. He says, I'm not soft like Tosin. She will actually kill you. Why is Shuhei such a simp for Tosin? He goes, hey, look, man, I look up to you. I respect you, but you will not badmouth Captain Tosin. Captain Tosin turned into a literal fly bug bitch. Bro, that was a toxic relationship. He lied to you. It's over. Stop hanging on a false memory. That dude was not good. He was a bad guy who faked everything and lied to you and tried to bamboozle you. Stop it. Shuhei, you lost points with me, bro. Stop it. Is there anything else I'm forgetting that was actually personally cool to me? No, that was all pretty damn cool to me. I enjoyed all of that. Grand Fisher, not Grand Minos. What a way to end this. I'm looking forward to coming back in July. seeing where prepare for really good battles, y'all. Also prepare to be super sad. There's some really messed up stuff that's gonna happen when we come back. So yeah, that's the only hint you get from me. But tell me, what did you think of not just these last two episodes, not just episodes 12 and 13? What did you think of the whole first part, this whole first season of Bleach, the 1,000-Year Blood War? We ended before the end of the year, and that I can deeply appreciate. I enjoyed it so far. If I had to give the whole of it, the animation, music quality, even though a lot of things were changed and morphed from the manga, a lot of it wasn't 1-to-1. I'm okay with that. I give this a 4. I give this a 4 out of 5. This whole thing a 4 out of 5. You know, I enjoyed it. Some of it felt rushed in some parts, but it was overall very enjoyable. And I'm gonna say something that a lot of people won't like. It's much more enjoyable than the original, especially looking at it. Sorry, not sorry. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Thank you for taking some time out to listen to me talk about these final parts of Bleach 1,000-Year Blood War. Please be good, be blessed. Wash those hands. Be good to yourself. Be good to others. Where it goes. Don't be a jerk. Make sure you take care of yourselves. All right. Be safe going into this New Year's Eve weekend. All right. Don't drink and drive. Use substances responsibly. Please be responsible about that. And above all, if you're feeling alone in this world, know that there is someone out there that cares about you. All right. There's someone that would rather talk to you today than to be missing you and mourning you tomorrow. My social media is at the bottom. Holla at me if you ever need someone to talk to. And thank you once again, guys. I'll see you in the new year. This is going to be a wild ride. Bankai.